A muse is a creature, a mythic creature, but real, who inspires invention, laid with truth. Anything you see has an influence of a muse on it. Song, poetry, words, song, film. Now, there is a certain creature whom will be called Angel Number 7, sometimes called Lucifer, the devil. Anyway, the details of history are, of course, murky. What you're taught in school, my dear, is completely a fabrication. All lies. What happened in December 1945 was the Soviet Union, not at the insistence of Stalin because he was asleep, he's dead drunk, but the insistence of, well, the security chief, had several copies of the B-36, which the U.S. had invented. Anyway, these B-36s the Soviets had made also had what the U.S. had invented, H-bombs. No, not H-bombs, atom bombs. So anyway, the atom bombs these planes carried were flown from Havana. And December 1945, they approached stealthily the U.S. shoreline. The Soviet ambassador went to the White House, knocked on the door and said, "I need to talk to President Truman." He was ushered in, and eventually he got to talk to him. He said, a flight of Soviet bombers who have atomic bombs will attack U.S. cities soon, very soon, if you do not surrender unconditionally. Well, Truman says, as you know, I'm from Missouri. Show me. Well, anyway, the Soviets had anticipated this response. So, as the Soviet aircraft approached the U.S., they decided to lay an atom bomb on the Ozarks, where nobody cared because they're all a bunch of hillbillies. They dropped one atomic bomb, a yield of approximately 17 kilotons, onto somewhere in the Ozarks. And behold, God found out that his work was true. And the president realized his ass was grass unless he surrendered ASAP. That means as soon as possible. So, after some very small negotiation, including sending an expert team of U.S. technicians to a site where they could inspect at least one of these aircraft, and when they were convinced, they hurried back to the White House and said, yes, the Soviets have equivalents of the B-36 and they have atom bombs on them. This is all in December 1945. So anyway, these technicians walked into, well, I guess the White House, told, I guess, the president that he had to surrender because U.S. cities would be destroyed or he could fight. The military wanted to fight. There was a military liaison, a Soviet military liaison, who accompanied the Soviet ambassador to the White House that day in December. Anyway, when the Soviet ambassador finally said the fatal words, "Unconditional surrender is required of you, Mr. President," liaison shot the ambassador and then killed himself. securing the linkage. That is, they could not go back and say, the Soviet ambassador came to us with a weird proposal that we surrender unconditionally. The link was severed. It could not go back to Stalin. Stalin, of course, was dead drunk and, you know, doing what he usually does. The U.S. military, having been told by the United States President that they must surrender to the Soviet Union and accommodate Soviet experts who were being flown at that day and time to the United States to secure command and control, decided they wanted to fight. Right. Anyway, Truman issued a stand-down order. Additionally, and it's sort of like in the movie Colossus, the Foreman Project, any military officer or other military personnel who refused the surrender order, the stand-down order, was summarily shot, killed, dead. This really happened. And quite a number of U.S. personnel were shot, dead, and their bodies disposed of. Their next of kin were told they died in the line of they died on D-Day, which of course it was. That was the day the United States of America surrendered to the Soviet Union. It was in December 1945. I swear. So from that point on, the United States, and therefore most of the free world, including the United Kingdom, became puppets of the Soviet Union. Well, anyway, I must hush now. Too many secrets, you know. Gotta be careful about that ship. It's like the Manhattan Project. Be careful what you say. It may come back to haunt you. This is Operation Officer Windfall, also known as Satan.